Why most people confuse comfort with health. There are days where nothing feels wrong. You're comfortable, not in pain, nothing bothering you enough to think twice. Everything just feels okay, and for a long time that feels like enough. If nothing is clearly wrong, then everything must be working. That's the assumption most people make without realizing it. The more you repeat the same routine, the more it starts to feel normal. Sitting for long hours, eating what's easy, avoiding anything that feels like effort. None of it stands out. It just becomes your day, and after a while, you stop questioning it. Once something becomes your baseline, you stop comparing it to anything better. Health is not always something you can feel clearly. It's not like pain or discomfort that demands attention. Most of it happens quietly. Your body is regulating things constantly, adjusting, compensating. Even if something is slightly off, you might not notice it right away. And because you don't notice it, you assume everything is fine. I've seen this during long school days. You sit through classes, move a little between periods, sit again. Come home, sit more, nothing feels extreme, you're not exhausted, not in pain. But by the end of the day, your energy feels lower than it should. Not enough to complain about, just enough to feel off. And then the next day repeats the same way. The body is good at adapting. That's what it's supposed to do. If you repeat the same pattern, your body adjusts to it. Less movement starts to feel normal, lower energy feels acceptable. Even small discomforts fade into the background. But adaptation doesn't always mean improvement. Sometimes it just means you've gotten used to less than what your body could handle. There's usually a moment where you notice something, but you don't really act on it. Maybe you feel slower than usual, or your focus drops earlier in the day. You notice it, but then you ignore it because it's not serious enough. This raises a question. How many small signals do we ignore just because they are not extreme? Comfort often comes from doing less. Less movement, less effort, less challenge, and that feels good in the moment. But the body doesn't always respond best to constant ease. It needs variation, it needs movement. It needs some level of demand to stay responsive. Without that, comfort can slowly turn into stagnation without you noticing. Sometimes the only way to see the difference is to change something. You move more for a few days or adjust your routine slightly, and suddenly your energy feels different, more stable. Your focus lasts longer. And then it becomes clear that what felt normal before was not actually your best state. It was just what you were used to. Most daily environments are built for comfort. Chairs, screens, controlled temperatures, predictable routines. So it's not surprising that comfort becomes the default. But when everything is designed to feel easy, it becomes harder to recognize when easy is not the same as healthy. Health is less about always feeling comfortable and more about how well your body functions over time. It's about stability, energy, and the ability to handle changes without breaking down. It doesn't always feel like ease. Sometimes it feels like being slightly challenged, but still in control. Comfort feels clear. Health doesn't always. That's why they get confused. You assume that if nothing feels wrong, everything must be right. But once you start noticing how your body actually responds to different patterns, it becomes harder to rely on comfort as a measure. And that's when you start to see the difference between feeling fine and actually functioning well. Thanks for watching.